His arms.
Glaze.
I can't believe it's loose around the arms. Go
Why
ahead.
don't you calm down over there?
And I stand before you following the footsteps of intellectual giants as nothing but a simple man who understands right from wrong. And sometimes that's all that matters. In the words of my friend, the late great Michael Jamal Brooks, there's nothing complicated about apartheid. The morality of it is clear. If the roles were reversed and a captive Jewish population of 5 million people were being systematically starved, sieged, and dominated, everyone would understand what's going on. Its ancestral lands being destroyed, everyone would understand what's going on. So in his words, it's not a complex issue. It's super simple. It's the most powerful country in the Middle East. It's backed by the United States, the most powerful country on the planet, and it acts on another population of people with total impunity and is never held accountable for anything. Well, I guess some things are changing in that regard, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But there is no symmetry in this relationship, period. That's what Michael Jamal Brooks said. So I see no need for obfuscation, no arguments for complexity, no reasoning.
What is happening with the camera, Marge? Goddamn.
For preemptive genocide. Israel is an apartheid state, and its inception was a violent one with the forced displacement of 700,000.
Did you really write this speech a day before, like you were saying? If so, that's amazing. Dog, I didn't write the speech the day before. I wrote it on the car ride up. And my Oxford speech, I also wrote on the car ride up as well.
Gave birth to a settler colonial entity that continues to dominate the lives of more than 5 million Palestinians under its illegal occupation, totaling 15 million Palestinians around the globe that are permanently displaced. Its demographic concerns is...
Good for him, citing Brooks.
I saw the stream live. It was like this. Yeah.
Like that. Many people have watched that clip of Michael Brooks saying that. And Hassan went on to basically you know, with a message of hope, as it were. It is completely understandable that people are feeling a little bit exhausted already and demoralized, and but there's plenty of examples in just the U.S. history alone of times that were even more despairing than we should now. And in many ways, we have more mechanisms for people to influence outcomes of things like happen with our government. And so here's Hassan wrapping up at in Cambridge.
People are distrustful of the news. Platforms like Twitter routinely surface the worst of the worst kinds of content, but the most divisive, most hateful content. But Elon Musk is not the only person responsible for this. And I hate Elon Musk, okay? I hate Elon Musk as much as you guys hate Oxford College. I heard that if I say that, I'll get some applause breaks there. So that was my exit ramp. But it's not just Elon Musk, it's not just Twitter. It's happening all around. Young people, men in particular.
March, why'd they crop it like that? Don't even come in here. Don't even come in here and be like, why did they crop it like that? Don't fucking start with me, Marge. You fucking wobbled this shit the whole time. No, I'm just kidding. I don't really care.
Who don't have much education or literacy skills with no hopeful prospects of the future are being propagandized by waves of right-wing influencers who have never had megaphones this loud. Although this issue most often gets brought up in the context of the 2024 election and Donald Trump, there's more to this. I think it's important to connect it to Palestine as well. These are forces who want to normalize the current levels of violence and to convince people that actually it's good to be this bloodthirsty. While it was Joe Biden who gave Israel the blank check with which to commit a genocide, that decision has created an entire galaxy of right-wingers who are actually in position to cash it. And cash it they are currently. If you've seen the Donald Trump cabinet picks, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The traditional forces that could keep this kind of thing in check, particularly in politics and in media, are unfortunately weak. And and they're getting weaker by the moment. They're out of power. They're broke. They're technologically weak. They don't understand the space. They don't understand the online content creation sphere. And I feel like they've, most importantly, with their coverage of Gaza, discredited themselves to an entire generation. It seems right now that those people who genuinely desire for a better future, who want an alternative to the genocide, will have to start looking amongst themselves, looking within themselves, their friends, and away from the mainstream if they want to help bring something like justice into the world. So I stand before you as a man who simply wants some semblance of justice for the Palestinians. I urge you not to lean into nihilism and succumb to helplessness, because you do not need the academic pedigree to know right from wrong. All you need is your moral compass. As someone who has seen the Palestine question evolve over my past 10 years of public advocacy, I never would have imagined international organs demand legal restitution from America's most valuable asset. After all, there are decades where nothing happens, and there are weeks where decades happen. Thank you.
Good for him.
That's great. It's great. Hassan is getting more coverage, more attention. Him being on PodSave, him going on with CNN and pissing off Bakari sellers.
Yeah, people are telling me that like there's like older people now. You know what I mean? There's older people watching. I gotta change my rhetoric a little bit. I gotta change my rhetoric a little bit. There's like unks and aunties and grandmas and grandpas watching now.
I didn't even watch that. I was like, this will put my blood pressure way too high. But
Your coverage of Syria has been awful and very disappointing. Wait, what? Why? I can't win with these people because I feel like if I were to take the Turkish government's line, they'd be like, Hassan is a Turkish agent. Okay, Hassan is a Turkish agent, and he's defending the Turkish government's interventions. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a point where you're making the rebels seem like good guys. No. What? Yeah, I think once again, as always, when I have these when I talk about these things, considering that like virtually every single angle here is just bad, and the people in Syria are the ones who are victim to it no matter what. You know, there is no world where I can get anybody. No one is going to be happy. There's people who are just straight up like, oh yeah, I'm an Assadist, and I think you're not giving adequate respect to the Ba'athist legend, okay, the Lion of Damascus. And then there are other people who are like, no, you don't understand. These are actually reformed Al-Qaeda agents, and the Free Syrian Army is actually super sick. And Turkey's interest in stabilizing Syria and is actually liberatory in nature. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, everybody knows the real terrorists are the student protesters on college campuses, okay? That's my